Thank you all so much for the 5,000 subscribers. I'm so happy you guys supported this channel for so much. So, with that, let's start with the first part of the 5,000 special video. Hey, what's up everyone? This is Miracle MS at your service, presenting to an episode of Captain Tsubasa Rise of New Champions, and today we're gonna do a video that has been highly requested on this channel. Rank every single event skill in the game. Oh boy. So here I have two tier lists. The first one is for original characters, and the second one is for custom characters. So we're just going to start with the original character, which is basically part one of this video. And we're going to start off with Tiger's Heart. So Kojira's Tiger's Heart, Kojira has a weakness. His weakness is low dribble speed and low kick gauge fill rate. Now while Tiger's Heart can to some extent fix his dribble speed problem, it can't fix his, speed recovery rate problem. Sorry, kick gauge fill rate problem. Why? Because Tiger's Heart's full boost activates when Kojira's Spirit is at 0, basically below 20%, but that's when he's already charged his super shoot. So it didn't help him charge the super shoot one bit. But it still managed to recover one of his weaknesses, which is the tackle speed. So for that I'm gonna put this at S rank. Masayama's Never Give Up is just straight up garbage. I don't even have to explain it, it's just awful. Nita's Bonanza increases his no trap shoots power by 50% half of the time. And that basically makes Nita a very great player to use to chip away the opponent's goalkeeper. Combine that with the opportunity maker from Sangor, and Nita's basically been revamped. He's basically been resurrected from the dead. He was basically unused before he got Bonanza. Now I use it on my main team. Low cost and a great amount of damage whenever you have to. And I've scored with him plenty of times with Bonanza. Against, the greatest defenses Bonanza managed to penetrate through. So this is a double S in my opinion. Meister, you want me to put it on triple S, don't you? No, he's a D. Meister doesn't activate for Mizuki. If you put him in on All Japan, none of it activates. If you use it in a custom team, none of it activates. The only place it activates is in Musashi, which you never use. I mean, why would you play with Musashi? You want to play a friendly match or a friendly tournament with whoever and want to use middle school teams, yeah, sure, go play it, but that doesn't make it any more useful for Mizuki in the actual online matches. You can't even use it in new hero mode, because it only gets unlocked for Mizuki when you're in junior youth, aka the time where it doesn't activate for Mizuki. So Meister was a horrible skill for Mizuki. It was just designed for custom characters. Unstoppable for Victorino. Now Victorino has a weakness. His dribble is weak. A strong R2 tackle crushes his light speed dribble. Unstoppable doesn't help with that weakness. It actually relies on Victorino to overcome that weakness, to dribble twice to get a dribble speed and a Viso charge. So it's a good boost, but it's still limited by Victorino's weakness, which is why I'm going to put it on A. Now I hate this skill. Be legendary for Diaz, I hate it with my soul. I hate it with a passion. However, I can't deny that before this, Diaz was basically not used at all. The only time you would use Diaz was to basically cross shoot. And when Tachibana stopped being useful, then so did Diaz. So Diaz was laid dormant for the longest time. But when Be Legendary came up, Diaz was like, oh yeah, 5 dribbles and instant one-shots. It can be used against bots. In online mode, lag helps Diaz just blast through everyone. So as much as I hate it, as much as it really pains me, I have to put this on triple S, because it's only the truth. Lethal Weapon made Napole really useful. Why? Because When you're late in the match, meaning 45 minutes onwards, and you're in a draw situation, Napoleon's spirit damage is increased by 60%. You can basically destroy the opponent's goalkeeper's spirit with this skill. It's the greatest tiebreaker. And if there wasn't a cost restriction, I definitely would have used Napoleon instead of Nita. But we have a cost situation, so I have to go with Nita. 4 Glory for Pierre is and from 45 minutes onwards, it increases spirit recovery for himself and his nearby teammates by 20%, I think. So it's not really anything special. It's a spirit recovery skill late in the match, so nothing really great about that. Jetsetter for Misaki. So when you're in the attacking third, it increases your kick HP rate, which Misaki doesn't really use. Sure, you can use it for 1-2, but that's about it. Increases spirit recovery rate for him in the middle third. Increases tackle speed for him in defensive third. This is a great one. It doesn't overcome Misaki's weakness because Misaki's weakness is his weak dribble. He can't dribble people that well. Similar to Victorino, a strong R2 tackle crushes him. But it gives Misaki a new purpose, the tackle speed when he's in defensive third. So Misaki can be an all-rounder. So without the tackle speed boost, Jetsetter would have been an A, same place as Unstoppable. But because of that tackle speed boost, Misaki goes to S because he actually gets a purpose. But he still has that weakness. Quick shot for Masao. Decreased shoot power for nearby teammates. Who's Masao's nearby teammate? His brother, Kaze. Twin shoot. So if Kaze gets weaker, Twin shoot gets weaker. So Masao just got weaker. What were you thinking, Tamsoft? Now powerful shot is the exact opposite. Increased shoot power for nearby teammates, decrease their kick HP rate instead. So obviously this increases Kazo's shoot power for his brother, which basically increases his own power as well. Plus, Kazo now becomes an independent character. You don't have to use him as a pair with Masa. You can just use Kazo singly and use it, in different situations with other players. For that purpose, I'm just gonna put Kazo on A, because in the end he's just a supporter. He just exists. He can't dribble, he can't shoot, he can't do anything much. But, I mean, at least, hey, he can actually do something better with it. He has a purpose, but for the most part, he's still useless. Pressure Master for Schneider. This is definitely one of the best skills. Apologies for a second. So, when you dribble someone twice, basically activate your zone, the opponent's all stats, including the goalkeeper's, will be decreased by 20%. This gave Schneider another purpose. Schneider was mostly used for pass shooting before this. People will still dribble shoot with him, but everyone knows it wasn't as effective as it is now. With Pressure Monster, it basically guaranteed Schneider to one-shot any goalkeeper with 2 dribbles. Similar to how people would pass to him with Loa to one-shot with his pass shooting skills. So this definitely made Schneider into the best ace in the game. Fantasista for Tsubasa. Okay, this is special. With Fantasista you can get Tsubasa close to the goal, but he can't score. Unless you know how to use the golden angle and weak spot. But that's very difficult to pull off. Even I can't pull it off consistently. Every time I shoot from the sides in my matches, I'm trying to hit the golden angle or the weak spot. And yet how many times of them can actually score? Like maybe 1 out of 10 shots. That's so difficult for me. So imagine how difficult it is for someone who's new to the game. I'm not trying to brag, I'm trying to say that making a 599 was 10 times easier than figuring out how the golden angle and the weak spot work. So for that, Tsubasa, I'm just going to put him on S. Not that amazing. Last line defender for Jean. This is a skill that is not released yet. So when you're the last defender and the opponent's the opponent who has the ball is close to you, they basically can't shoot it. But this is a rare situation to happen. Not only be the last defender, but also be close, like really close to whoever has the ball is something that basically doesn't happen. And if you're that close, then you may as well just tackle him already, you know. It's a great thing on paper, but it's not really that much used. So I'm just going to put it on B. Next up is Morisaki's Backbone. Stats don't affect Morisaki's saving animation, so neither does Backbone. D. Buy. Faker for cards. Okay, so this is a skill that is not released yet. When you're charging a pass, either it's a 1-2 or a long pass, your opponent's tackle speed is decreased by 20%. Cards doesn't have a 1-2, and his long pass is a very simple straight pass. It's so easy to intercept. Why would he need this? Like, it's not 100% useless, but, you know, it's not that useful. I guess you can just manually slow down the opponent's defenders from catching up to your opponent's forwards. So I guess that's one purpose to have for Faker, but that's a bit too advanced in my opinion. I'm just gonna put it on C. Harvester for Soda. This is a skill that is not released yet, so pay close attention. Soda is marking someone. You set Soda to mark someone. Soda presses the R2 tackle and uses Razor tackle. He gets the ball. He will get the ball. There is no exception. No shield, no dribble. There is nothing that can protect you from Harvester. If Soda is marking that player, he presses R2 tackle and his R2 tackle connects, it's over. Soda has gotten the ball from him. That's how powerful Harvester is, which is why it's going to triple S. This basically murders whoever Soda is marking. HeavyTune for Jito. Now for Jito, who already has the strongest block in the game, getting HeavyTune isn't really anything special. HeavyTune is not released yet. It's gonna be released very soon. We're probably gonna get the Hero the Root boost very soon. Or not, they probably are trying to patch up Hero the Root. So that may be postponed for another couple of months. But yeah, decrease Jito's tackle speed, but instead increase his tackle power and block power. Jito doesn't really need either of those because his tackle power and block power are already very high. But, you know, it's nice to have a little more power, I guess. So let's just put him at B. I'm not really putting too much thought into the weaker ones. Initiative for Urabe is a spear recovery rate skill. If Urabe is close to whoever has the ball from the opponent, Urabe's and your entire team's spear recovery rates will be increased by 15%. That's decent, but you know, why? Wakashima's Insight. We have a similar situation with Tiger Hearts now. Wakashima has a huge weakness. He has a very weak saving animation. So, Insight increases tackle speed for the entire team by 10%. So a stronger defense means a lower chance for anyone to take a shot at Wakashimasu. Seems flawless, right? Except the fact that Wakashimasu is so weak, most of the times a version 1 shoot can kill him. Like Schneider's fire shoot can kill him. And if Schneider uses his high fire shoot, charges his super shoot, even if it goes through a block, it can still knock Wakashimasu away and score. So it's a nice cover-up for Wakashimasu's weakness, but it's not, foolproof. The weakness is still showing. So you could call it in a similar situation as Tiger Heart. I'm going to put it on S. Providence for Carlos. I mean, Every successful dribble plus 3%. Every time you get tackled and lose the ball while you're holding the dribble buttons, a minus 2%. Each of them can stack up to 10 times. So Carlos can theoretically get up to 30% all stats boost. You can get tackled a couple of times, 25% all stats boost on average. Basically when you use Carlos enough times. So this definitely makes Carlos one of the greater players in the game, second to Schneider. Valiant for Robso. So when you're in the defensive third, your opponent has the ball, Robson gets 35% speed recovery rate boost. But if he's already in the defensive third, he already has his spirit full. Why would he need a more speed recovery rate? So it's like, it exists, it does something for him, but nothing that special. All in for Ishizaki. So Ishizaki has two weaknesses. Again, the situation is similar to Tiger's Heart. Excuse me for a second. Ishizaki has two weaknesses. His block is so weak, and his tackle sucks. All-in does this. Drains 50% of his V-zone, but guarantees the block. Like, guarantees that if his face block activates, it will stop the shoot, no matter what. And here's the thing, Ishizaki has two skills, Gutsman and Funky Gutsman, that basically restore all of the V-zone that All-in just used, and maybe restore some more. So that definitely covers up Ishizaki's block problem. But his tackle still sucks. So Ishizaki is still not perfect as a defender. So again, a similar situation to Tiger's Heart and Insight. So All-in does recover half of Ishizaki's problems, but the other half, his tackle problems, are still a big problem. Showtime for Kluivod. So this is basically similar to Tsubasa's Fantasista case, where you can get into position and just, it's easier to get into the position to use the golden angle or the weak spot. Except Kluivod also has overpowering shoot and power shooter, so he can deal more damage compared to Tsubasa's no driver shoot in those situations. So even if you don't manage to land the special positions, the golden angle and the weak spot, you can still deal a great damage to the goalkeeper and do that very easily. So when you're in the attacking third, one dribble, your zone gets activated. This is Kluivod's Showtime, which is a great skill, even though it doesn't really one-shot the goalkeeper. It's a very great way to chip away his spirit. Opportunity Maker for Sangor definitely gave him a new purpose. Up to this point, Sangor was just soul pass fodder, and his R1 tackle was also pretty good to use. But now that he has Opportunity Maker, he can either pair it with Nito's no trap shoots, or just use it to pass to Schneider and position him very well. You can basically break the opponent's defense formation with Opportunity Maker if you can use it clever enough. So basically what Opportunity Maker does is when you do a successful long pass, it disables the opponent's blocks for about 10 seconds, I think. It's not that long, but it's pretty good. Basically disable the block completely. So I'm just gonna put it on double S. It's not as amazing as Harvester, Providence, Pressure Monster, and be legendary, but it's still pretty good. Nitro Boost for Blake. If you've been following the channel at all, you know that Nitro Boost doesn't activate, so it sucks. Unnerve Wakabayas is not released yet. So the first 15 minutes of the match, opponent's forwards, midfielders' technique, and defenders' defense gets nerfed by 40%. Holy. Yeah, this is definitely triple S. This is definitely triple S. I'm definitely looking forward to Wakabayashi's event to come out. Fascinator for Hein. So hold the ball for 6 seconds, and any one dribble you do will instantly activate your zone. Why does Hein have this? He doesn't do anything with his zone. Like, I guess the best way to utilize Fascinator for Hein is to use the activated zone to tank through R2 dribbles, get closer to the goal, and then 1-2 with Schneider and position him to shoot. So I guess he can become more than just a 1-2 fodder for Schneider. He can be like Schneider's main assister. Like if you want to score with Schneider, give the ball to Hein and you can work your magic all the way to the goal if you can, utilize him properly. So I guess, I don't know, A or B. I'm gonna put it on A. Hernandez is Showstopper, so when you're in the lead, your defense gets increased by 20%. But if you're already in the lead, that means you're good enough as it is. You're better than your opponents if you got the lead. So what's the point? I know in some cases that's not the situation, but I don't see really the point of this deal. But still, 20% defense is good, so I guess I'll put it at A. Phantom for Mueller. So if Mueller has 50, if the goalkeeper in this situation, Mueller himself, has 50% or higher spirit, his all stats will be increased by 18 points. If it's lower than 50% spirit, his all stats will be decreased by 10 points. Every time a goalkeeper gets scored on, his spirit drops to 85. So most of the time, he's getting minus 10%, not a plus 18. Sure, I guess he can do better at the beginning of the match. Somewhat. I don't know, B, I guess I'll put it. I wouldn't put it as low as for Glory, Initiative, and Valiant, but still not that great. Gathering Storm for Ruscia. So for the first 2 seconds you hold the ball, your all stats will be increased by 0 points. Hold the ball for another 2 seconds, your all stats will be increased by 1 point. Another 2 seconds, your all stats will be increased by 3 points. Another 2 seconds, your all stats will be increased by 6 points. Another 2 seconds, your all stats will be increased by 10 points. And a final 2 seconds, which means a total of 12 seconds, and your all stats will be increased by 15 points. This is a great skill for a custom character, but for Ruscia himself, it's not. Why? Because Ruscia has 2 kinds of dribbles. Shield Bash. He basically pauses in the middle of the field to bash the opponent away and continue moving. Or Crown Lifting. Either one of those dribbles make Ruscia stand still, meaning the opponent's defenders can catch up. So you can't hold the ball for too long with Ruscia, nor can you power your way from the middle of the field to the opponent's goal. And using a long shoot is probably going to get blocked, especially with a new block system. So you can probably hold it for like 6 to 8 seconds at most when you're in the middle of attacking. And gets like, I don't know, 3 to 6 points for your player, for Ruscia. And use it for a super shoot. So it's decent, it's some boost, but it's not that amazing. Best laid plans for Ryan. This is like a phantom situation again. The first 15 minutes of the match, the miracle goal rate is decreased. The last 15 minutes of the match, the miracle goal rate is increased. So I guess Ryan could be the underdog of your team to score, but it's not something you would normally use in your team. And that's it. The tier list for all the event skills for original characters. Part 2 of the 5,000 sub special is going to be specifically for custom characters. So definitely stay tuned for it, and I'll see you all next time.